I must say, as an outsider, it seems extraordinary to talk about America being racist and anti-black when they elected a black president twice.
Yeah.
Isn't that the proof that Americans are able to rise above the nastiness of race?
But you're giving up a big strategy if you do that, right? You can't give that up. You cannot give that up.
Yeah.
There's no way you can give that up. That's a big card.
We've turned what Martin Luther King wanted to do, on its head. He said it was racist to point to the colour of skin. Now you're racist if you don't point to the colour of skin, it seems to me.
So
how did that happen?
Well, I mean, the way it happens is Hegelian dialectic. The way it happens is you strategically, if you look at 33 strategies of war or 48 laws of power or the 5 rings or art of war, all these deception games, or The Prince. The deception game is very powerful. How many people read the deception game? What percentage of the world reads the deception game and knows what it's all about? Very few, less than 5%. So the other 95% fall for it. The deception game is very elusive, but effective. It's very manipulative, but it works because it's, I'm LeBron James. Somebody came and sprayed black man or whatever, the N-word on my doors. Yeah, got it. Why are you doing that? Why are you playing a dirty game? But it works. These racist white people. But it works because you need to create an enemy, right? But the thing that's going on right now, John, that I'm optimistic about, I think this next earlier you and I were talking about my son's political leanings, right? 12 years old. And your friend asked a question over there about how does he debate other kids at school and what happens with that, right? And I said, yes. And you said what? That's great, because he needs it, right? Okay. Do you know with the tensions being the way they've been since 2008 to today, 16 years, a 5-year-old kid born in 2008 to today is 21 years old, right? 2008, 16, 21 years old. We haven't yet seen the positive side effects of this. We haven't yet seen kids that are like, bullshit. You're not going to do that with me. I'm not racist. What are you talking about? Those guys are getting tougher. They went to school. They learned better how to debate. They came back and researched.
I reckon what you're saying is right.
For sure.
And I reckon a large part of it is overreach. Overreach is always dangerous. And the progressives have overreached by implying that if you're male, somehow automatically you're toxic. Well, if you're a young man accusing you of being toxic just because you're a young man, you're going to say, hang on.
That's right.
Hang on. And they're recentering very quickly.
You know what demo is the biggest increase in conservatives right now? Young male, high school male students. Highest percentage of conservatives right now because they're sick of it. Like, what are you talking about? No, this is not going to work. It's going to backfire. If somebody bullies some of the greatest boxers of all time became boxers because they were bullied. Some of the greatest UFC fighters of all time became fighters because they were bullied. Some of the greatest comedians of all time became comedians because their life sucked. It was so bad, drugs, alcohol, abuse, that they had to find a way to laugh, and they used comedy and entertainment. Imagine how much these people have been abused the last 16 years. That tension is going to produce some of the greatest leaders you and I have ever seen the next 20 years. And when it comes, it's not going to come in 1 or 2s. It's going to come in the thousands, and they're not going to know how to control that.
My one great plea is that they be unifiers. They pull your country, my country, our cultures back together. That they don't use it as a sort of a battering ram to continue the division. We've got to end the division. Australians have got to think of Australians as fellow Australians. Americans have got to think of Americans as fellow Americans. Isn't that one of the big problems? I mean, surely in this country, I could never understand why when Biden won, he didn't go on a listening tour to see why so many Americans weren't supporting him. Wouldn't that have been the logical thing? Hear them out, show them some respect. If he says he wants to heal the nation, we're divided, you need to go out and talk to those people who are disaffected.
There's talk and there's action.
Yeah.
You know that, I know that.
Yep.
To this,
And there's respect or lack of respect.
For sure, yes. But I mean, listen, moral authority. If you ask, when people ask me, what's the most important thing if you want to build a big business and you want to gain people's respect? Have moral authority. Today, I'm interviewing two of my guys that are responsible for a bunch of new employees. And I looked at both of them we just hired 2 weeks ago. I said, what's your plan on how you're going to gain respect from your new employees that report to you? What's your plan? I said, if you come in late and you leave early, you're done. They're all going to talk. But if you come in early, leaving in late, and you're in there with them, working with them, helping them out, you're going to gain moral authority. You don't have that automatically. I'm not going to back you up. You have to go earn that and get it. Well, once you get moral authority, then everything is easy. You don't need to raise your voice. They'll hear you because you have moral authority, right? If somebody, I remember when I went and worked at Valley Total Fitness the first time and my boss was 300 pounds overweight, telling people to work out. I used to see people's reaction when he would say, you should go work out. The first thing they would look at is look at his belly. I would see eyeballs. I'm like, how could you tell other people you weigh 300 pounds? It was so funny to me, right? And then we had another guy that would tell people to work out. And I was like, yeah, this makes sense. You're in shape.
Yep.
I get it. Moral authority.
Yep.
If we come from a place of earning moral authority, it'll be automatic. If you do it through force, you will be hated. And they're doing it through force right now. And I'm specifically talking about the establishment and the left.